Hello, welcome to Hakuna MaChatter, your place for everything positive in diversity in film and television. My name is Elliot. I am joined by a very special guest today, Honey Gabriel, actress extraordinaire. We are here for a view from the inside. We're going to be finding out her thoughts on diversity and representation within the industry from working as an actor, as well as watching films and TV shows as a fan. I really hope you guys enjoy. Honey, hello, welcome to Hakuna MaChatter.
Hi, Elliot. Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you
How
for
are you
having me.
today? Oh, of course.
Good. Today is good. All the shops have opened. I've seen videos of what the queues are like, and I've decided I'm just going to give it a couple extra weeks. I'm just going to stay in the house, and then maybe I will venture out. But for now, I'm okay in my home because Corona is still real. But good.
Brilliant. So we met through The Show Must Go Online, bringing online theatre, online Shakespeare to the masses. But you know, you as an actor, how has it been? How long have you been in the industry? Did you go to drama school? Give us the full scoop of Honey.
Okay,
sorry,
so
I've already punched
I
you.
I have been an actor for going on, well, not including drama school, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I studied economics at university. I went to Loughborough, Luga Baruga, and then went on to work in private equity as a consultant for 4 years. So I had a whole life prior to that, but I really did not like the job I was in. Not because I wasn't good at it, but it just wasn't fulfilling. It didn't feed my soul. But I'm Nigerian, so I didn't think I could quit my job outright. So I just thought, I'll just do stuff on the side and continue working because I have sense. So I just started doing acting classes weekends, evenings, and found myself on the evening beginners course at Drum Studio London, which is where I went to drum school. And I just adored it. I don't know how else to describe it. I just went. I had the deja vu that I had when I went to the Loughborough campus when I was first looking at universities. I'd gone to see a few, but when I walked onto the Loughborough campus, I went, "Oh, I'm meant to be here." It was a weird deja vu feeling of I'm meant to be here. And I had that same feeling when I walked up to DSL that first night for the evening course. Now I thought it was just a feeling because I'm meant to be there for 10 weeks for an evening course. That's fine. 2 years.
I see that.
It was a longer deja vu. I wasn't cognizant of it at that point. So first week on the evening course, absolutely adored it. Second week, I was in the managing director's office asking, what would I have to do to come here full time? I just threw it out there. So he gave me the contact details of an acting coach. I worked with her on my speeches. I thought the story was going to be, I've tried, I didn't get in, and I can move on with my life. I can at least say I attempted my dream. Because I always say acting was the dream. It was never meant to be the reality. And you see how things happen. So I worked hard on my audition pieces. I put the work in, did the audition, and then I thought that would be it, I'm done. But then they let me in. And I went, oh, crap, now I have to do this. And I then started the 2-year course that October after auditioning in April, May. And here I am after graduating. I did the 2-year diploma, which is now their MFA at Drum Studio. And I've been out of the industry since. And there's been a lot of ups and downs in these 2 years. I mean, Corona being one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, sure.
Very interesting to have 6 months of normality and then Corona after graduating. That was a very interesting first year out. But the Show Must Go Online has been one of my saviors as part of that first year out. So that's how I found myself as actor Honey now. As my mother calls me, I'm a thespian now. I love it when she says it.
You're like, whoa, yeah, okay, I can run with that.
I saw a Facebook memory from 5 years ago, and I went, 5 years ago, me would not guess that this is where we are now. Not even about Corona, just what I'm doing with my life. She'd be like, no, that's not real. Sorry, guys, it is. Yay!
Great. Well, we all know a little bit more about yourself now, which is brilliant. So what I want to kind of delve into now is finding out kind of what shows or films you gravitated towards growing up. What kind of, what was it that was out there that you were like, I love this. I'll play this video or DVD 20 times a week, and just the real standout things. And maybe there was some characters that you gravitated towards as well, that you maybe saw yourself in. How was that growing up?
So weirdly enough, the first series that came into my brain when you asked this question was Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and all the subsequent series. I was a huge Power Rangers fan. I mean, I knew it was ridiculous with the whole jumping, explosion, random jump. Like, I knew it was ridiculous, but I absolutely adored Power Rangers. Yeah. I think, like, the last major series that I watched was maybe Ninja Storm or after that.
Okay.
And I loved them because they were quite diverse as their casts.
Yeah.
They had Rangers from different ethnicities. Their villains, most of them were like in anamorphic suits and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the ones who were humanoid were from, like, Rita Repulsa. She was an Asian woman.
Yeah.
And I think I was just really drawn to just how colourful the series was, even with the various Ranger suits. I absolutely adored it. Oh, Power Rangers has my heart.
I've still got the Mighty Morphin film sat on my shelf downstairs. Like, it's just beautiful.
I started rewatching the series on Netflix during the first lockdown, and I was just like, I don't know if it's aged well, but it's still giving me all the feels.
Yeah,
like it's just still giving me everything.
Yeah.
So absolutely love that. The film that was always on repeat for me, and this is just because I'm a princess at heart, is The Princess Diaries. And again, I don't know if they... I mean, Principal Gupta was brilliant. I mean, Sandra Oh. Just, like, watching her in that and then seeing where she... like, what she's doing now, I'm like, we could see it from even then. The Queen is coming to Grove High School. Like, she's incredible.
No, she smashes it.
She smashes it. She was brilliant. But that's also because I'm a princess at heart. I know pretty much that movie word for word. I can't lie. And I watched it like a few weeks ago, and I can't lie, I shed a tear. Because I just forgot how much in my feels it would get me. I was just like, what is wrong with me?
Brilliant.
I love that movie. And then animations. Animations is something that were a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
So everything from... So if we're talking movie animations, A Bug's Life was one of my all-time favourites.
Oh, so good.
Such an incredible movie. The messaging, the joy, it's just an incredible movie. And then TV stuff. So watching Looney Tunes and Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, like all of those cartoons as children were really great. And finding out the voices behind some of these people and the voices that you wouldn't think were behind them has just I can't say like all my choices have always been very diverse, but they've been very varied. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Because you can go from Power Rangers to Animaniacs. It's a bit of a stretch, but I did it, and I quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, it's always, as a child, we never really noticed that sort of stuff. I certainly didn't. Like all the stuff you've named, I definitely grew up watching a lot of that as well. Definitely Power Rangers and definitely Animaniacs as well. I remember watching that a lot. But, do you feel there's kind of also a point, though, that certainly back when we were growing up, to me at least anyway, I kind of look back at it and I kind of go, I mean, there wasn't really that much diverse stuff on offer anyway, so we kind of had to watch we had to watch those programs because we didn't have anything else. I mean, do you feel that it is a case of just, I was a child, you can stick anything on, I probably would have watched it, or do you just think there just wasn't the choice, so you're just going to have to stick anything on, so I'm going to watch it?
I think it's a combo of the both. As a child, you probably really could have. Like, so I grew up in a Christian household. One of my all-time favorites as a real child, like toddler, was the Donut Man. Now, funnily enough, his friends, they were quite diverse. That it was like quite a diverse set of. The Donut Man was a old white guy, but his like donut friends were quite diverse. But for me, there wasn't really the plethora of options that we have now as we did back then. And so yeah, if you stuck it on the TV, I'd probably watch it. But I did find I really bonded with the ones that had more diversity when I could find them. Stuff like That's So Raven, The Proud Family.
Yes.
Keenan and Kel. I did really gravitate to the ones where I could see myself. But there weren't that many around, so you kind of had to make do with what you got. You still wanted to watch TV because you're a child. And what else am I going to do? I mean, I've read as well. I read books. But also I want to sit in front of the TV and laugh. So you kind of picked what you could.
I think, even just by like the way that you've named stuff there, it's clearly like it almost feels like it was separated, because we had Keenan and Kel, That's So Raven, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like it was kind of like you had to go there to get it, whereas it was never available.
Trouble was the channel.
All mixed together. Yeah.
Trouble was the channel. I'd find My Wife and Kids, all of that. Half and Half, One-on-One.
Yeah.
Like, someone played the theme tune.
Like...
Sister. Someone played the theme tune for Half and Half for me the other day, and I went, I forgot how much of a tune this was, like an opening.
I can't remember.
I was like, through this journey of discovery. It was so. I was like, this is actually a tune. They should have released a full song for this.
Hey, it's probably on Spotify somewhere.
One would hope. So, like, yeah, I and Trouble was my channel. I think that was the one I was on the most because that's where I could see myself most. And One-on-One, Half and Half, All of Us, like all of those kinds of shows were on Trouble. So Trouble would be kind of the hub, but I still love stuff on Disney. I still love stuff on Nickelodeon. So yeah, I figured I had to find my niche. And yes, I would dip into other things, but you kind of gravitate to where you see yourself, really.
With that in mind, how do you feel things have changed now? Well, I mean, we'll talk about the kind of stuff that you watch now in a bit, but sort of just to transition there, what has been your view of the not even just the industry for now, let's just talk about film and TV just in general. Like there's quite a big social change around it at the moment. How for you is that change?
Slow but moving. And I can't discount the changes that have been made and the progress that has been made. Is it enough, in my opinion? Hell no. It's not. But it's at least moving in the right direction. But it's been slow, and that's the thing that, for me, I'm just, like, antsy to get moving quicker. Like, I just find it's been slow, and then on top of that, sorry, my brain is trying to process my thoughts. I feel like it's come back, like we've slightly regressed. Because talking about all the shows that I was talking about, All of Us, One-on-One, we had a real kind of heyday of Black family TV shows that were really doing the business. And then they kind of went off, and we had nothing. Like, all that gap after, like, All of Us and One-on-One ended, there was nothing to fill that. But, of course, now we're seeing it come back again. So, yeah, I think it's just been really slow. I think when I was growing up and watching stuff like All of Us, One-on-One, I was just like, oh, that's me. It's where kind of part of my love for acting started as a child, where I was like, oh, this would be awesome as a dream. I would love to do this. I would love to be on that screen. And then when it kind of went, I feel like that's where Sensible Honey came back. And then I was like, okay, I'll study this, and this at A-levels, and I'll be sensible, and I'll go to university, and I'll do all that. Because, well, I didn't have anything to spur me on to want to pursue the arts. Not all but almost all but disappeared from our TV screens.
Yeah.
They removed the entire channel. Trouble doesn't exist as a channel. They removed the entire channel, was where I saw myself. And I went, oh, if they've removed that, then maybe there isn't a space for someone who looks like me in the industry anyway. And even in other mainstream programs, it was always tokenism. And tokenism never sat well with my spirit. So I was just like, well, that's not me anyway. Because I'm not a token. I've never been the token. I've never been the funny best friend.
You're the center of your own story.
Exactly. And when I stopped seeing myself as the center of stories on screen, I went, okay, so I can still be the center of my own story. It just won't be there. And that's okay. And well, I'd resigned myself to thinking that was okay and moved on from it and pursued a career in finance. And then it was starting to see things coming out and more shows that, well, seeing a lot of what Tyler Perry was doing as well. For all his faults, the man is still a genius.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily calling him the greatest writer out there, because there are still some outstanding questions on some of its projects. I still have not watched this movie, but even I want to know how she got on the boat. Like,
I
just need
don't
to
know that I've watched the Tyler Perry movie. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I've. Yeah.
Oh, see, I'll give him his coins regarding like the early Medea movies. Fun. Like, you're not looking for anything major, like spectacular or thought provoking. You're just looking for laughs. And to be fair, he gave us the laughs. Once that chainsaw came out in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, I almost fell on the floor laughing. I was just like, this is madness. But it was exactly what it was, and I give him his kudos and his applause for what he gives us. As I said, for his writing, but fair, to each their own. But as a business and as a producer and as a manager and a champion of talent, no one's really doing it like him, in my opinion. No one. The number of people he's given opportunities, who he's paid correctly, who's given opportunities to, no one can fault him on that. I will fight you on that at that point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, and the industry. I mean, certainly here in the UK, the industry is missing someone like that. You know, and it seems, you know, it feels like America has a few, because, you know, there's Tyler Perry, there's Spike Lee, there's Ava DuVernay. Like, you know, they are really pushing and really have pushed for decades. Yeah. But over here, it's very sorely lacking. I want to kind of come back to your point on tokenism, because I find this is always an interesting one, and particularly with how the industry is moving, and well, at least how the industry is casting, shall we say, because there's always that talk around race swapping characters, and you know, the biggest one of recent was obviously Halle Bailey for The Little Mermaid. Now, I've always kind of said, look, yes, we want new films and new shows and new stories, but we ain't getting that. So while we ain't getting that, I'm going to take Halle Bailey as a Little Mermaid. You know? What are your opinions on that?
I am all for that. Yeah. Especially on projects, like, I didn't understand the further around The Little Mermaid. It is a mermaid. They don't exist. So technically the way we have imagined them could be all wrong, frankly. So why not just play? And also, if you hear her sing, I can't think of another person in the industry, in the world, who could pull off Ariel's voice right now, aside from Halle. Ungodly
Hour like got me through 2020. Okay, let's not front. Okay.
Yeah. So in my head, it's an imaginary creature that it could have been, and to be fair, it's an imaginary creature that was drawn by the West. So of course they would draw it to look like them. Yeah. We may have had our own versions in Africa and in Asia. So she can be whatever she wants to be. She's imaginary. I know there was a lot of fervour about the casting in Bridgerton for season 2 for Kate Sharma for making her Asian, which is different to the original books. And I went, but again, this is a fictional society. She can be whatever she wants.
I mean, the thing with Bridgerton is that, you know, they opened up season 1 as being colourblind casting, but then spoke about race in the show.
Yeah, so they did. I wasn't completely sure about that conversation when I watched it, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. For me, if you'd not addressed it at all, it would have been fine, because I would have taken it at face value of, this is just the society that we are.
Exactly. But here it is,
But-
and also if they wanted truly colourblind casting, they would have just, the Bridgerton family itself would have been a mix of everything. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it wasn't. So
It wasn't.
the fact that there's then uproar, as you're saying, for this casting just feels a bit weird. Feels a bit off.
It makes no sense. For me, it doesn't detract from the story. She can still be an aristocrat. She can still give Anthony Bridgerton a run for his money.
Yep.
Like, it for me, her casting probably will add to it, because there'll be probably like things within the Indian culture that will add a bit of vim, shall we say, to like maybe some of the insults she'll, because I'm sorry, no one can insult like a Nigerian. It's just in our DNA. There's something about us, and it will like just penetrate your soul if we do it right.
Okay.
There will be something that she could say in Hindi or whatever language they choose to ascribe to her family that I know will just penetrate Anthony Bridgerton's heart, and he won't be able to say nothing. So for me, those are the fun things that you can bring in by having someone who isn't of the same ethnicity. Like those wouldn't be open if everyone was of the same ethnicity.
No, exactly.
And that adds a bit of fun and play.
Yeah. And I think that comes into, then just casting consciously and saying, this is who this actor is, and we can bring that into the part. And
exactly.
Yeah. And hopefully then that will also be the case with Halle. As you say, she's an incredible singer, and the whole point of Ariel, the main thing about Ariel is her voice.
It's her voice. Literally the point of the story. That she
mermaid
gave up
and
said
her
voice.
Yeah.
For another, like, it's literally the key part of the story. So if we have someone who doesn't have a voice, you kind of lose the whole point of.
Well, this is it, and especially as like there's such a push now to have the actors that are hired singing rather than how Disney used to do. Hiring in the singing voices,
a voice actor and a singing voice.
Yeah.
For me, I don't get why people are still in such an. Firstly, why people are in an uproar over casting. People exist. You walk past them every day. Why should they not also be on your TV screens?
Yeah.
And secondly, as I said, I felt like the movement has been slow. It's been happening, but as you said, we work together on The Show Must Go Online. They have proven that it is doable, and quite easily. It's just doable. Like, you don't need to go like, hi, and no, we're here. Like, it's doable, and you don't need to stress over it.
Yeah.
And sensible humans will go along with you and will embrace those casts, as the Groundlings did week after week with The Show Must Go Online.
Here it is. You just you go back and watch the shows now, and you just follow the Groundlings. You just go, oh my god! They all go, oh my gosh, look at this cast. Or when the cast was announced, and the quote tweets and the comments, and you just be like, everyone was just like, what? I've never seen Shakespeare done like this before. This is incredible,
But and it's sad that it wasn't done like that before. But now you've seen it done, you have no excuses.
No.
I think that's what I'm really grateful for The Show Must Go Online on. There are no more excuses. No. We did it in the middle of a panorama and see what happened. And we drew people from around the globe of various ethnicities. Yeah. You can't tell me it's not doable anymore. If you do, I'll look at you sideways. I will. I'll be like, try again. Come on. Do better.
Yeah,
it's just not possible. I refuse to accept it as an excuse anymore.
Oh, and I think this is kind of the most interesting thing about the industry opening back up, particularly the West End and just UK theatre in general, like London theatre.
Some of these announcements that have been happening, I'm just like
my eyes are going to be on it quite firmly, just to be like, you don't have to do it like that anymore. Like you can be brave and do something. It's not even being brave anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I have done a few retweets, quote tweets for when they announce casts, and I'm like, something feels wrong with this. Yeah. Can't quite put my finger on it.
Quite interesting.
Quite put my finger on it, but something just doesn't feel right about this. But okay.
I'll let you figure it out.
I mean, I've got another job to do, so maybe do yours. but I'm just pointing some out that it doesn't quite feel right.
Yeah.
Maybe have a look
Yeah.
at it again.
Just
I'm
assess.
really shocked. When stuff like Hamilton has come out, how are you still making these mistakes in the
Yeah.
year of our Lord 2021?
Yeah. But, you know, here's the thing, like, because even with Hamilton, like, Hamilton is great. Don't get me wrong, I love the show. But did you read the article that went round a couple of weeks back, maybe a month or two ago, actually? It was a blog post from someone who worked one of the ensemble roles on tour in America. And I mean, I don't know, you know, I'm highlighting that it was in America because I don't know how it is here necessarily in the UK, but I think I can kind of have an idea. But from the sounds of this guy's experience, a lot of the background staff, or at least definitely upper management staff, it's still very locked in white cis male, even on a show like Hamilton, which is so sad to hear. And like, even as down to like the musicians playing the music as well. And it's kind of like, you know, it makes you wonder what Lin-Manuel Miranda is, if he knows, and if he does, what is he not doing about it? Yeah, I'll find that link and send it to you, and actually I'll link it for guys down in the description box as well, because it's definitely worth a watch to get an insight how to, even in a show like Hamilton, to, if you want to understand the struggle and how real the struggle is, and why, honey, you're here like talking about this stuff, like that highlights it.
That makes me kind of sad to hear, because I know of so many incredible Black, Asian, Latino musicians who would kill it in those orchestras. Who would go and smash it.
Yeah.
And I just don't get how they're not being hired. And maybe it's a case of theatres have like their people, but all crew roles should also be diverse. That's why I'm really grateful for someone like Michael B. Jordan, who has his 50%, the policy that he has, that 50% of all his crew, I'm talking back and front, will be diverse. No issues. He's talking gaffers, lighting techs, musicians, everyone. Yeah. And I really appreciate that. Yeah. And I feel like some of these institutions now need to put that in place.
Yeah, definitely.
And they need to be held accountable to it.
Yeah, definitely. Ava DuVernay recently opened up Array Crew, which is a directory for diverse crew members. So, and a lot of the big Hollywood studios have actually helped to finance it as well. Talking Warner Bros. And Disney and Sony.
That's amazing.
So that's currently available in the US, and I know that they have plans for Canada and the UK as well. So, yeah.
That's incredible.
So, you know, there are people working on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're out there, and So I'm on Clubhouse, the kind of big social media app that everyone's like, oh, what is Clubhouse? What is Clubhouse? It's basically just in-app voice conversations. I've talked with people around the world. I've done some shows on Clubhouse.
Nice.
With people I never thought. So I did Oedipus Rex on Valentine's Day, because of course it's the most romantic story ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With Kirk Baltz playing Creon. And I've watched Reservoir Dogs, and I've been like, oh my God, it's Kirk Baltz. And he's like a chill dude. He's like a super lovely person.
Nice.
And now consider him a colleague and friend. And I'm just like, Clubhouse has been great. It's exposed me to so many incredible people. But people of colour, or of the global majority, as I have coined and love to call us, are out there who know how to do this work.
Yeah.
They're out there. And so, again, when I've been exposed to so many people on Clubhouse who can do these jobs, who are searching for these roles and just don't seem to be able to get their foot in the door, I'm baffled, because they're out there. And no one can tell me that they're not out there. This is now a conscious decision for you not to bring them in, interview them, hire them. This is not because they don't exist.
It's I heard a stat in 2019 that in the UK theatre, well, in London theatre, that 72% of the people working were working due to recommendation. So that meant that it was very locked in all the same people. And I mean, you know, a stat like that just shows you that just people aren't being given the opportunity. So, you know, it's not a case of they're not there, as you say. It's not a case of, oh, maybe the more talented person got the job, which we know is just people tying equality into race anyway. But it's just because, yeah, people just they don't bother to look because they don't. I mean, they don't need to, which is
No,
unfortunate.
word of mouth. The person
Yeah.
has said, "Oh, I've got this actor who's there. Use them, and if you work
Yeah.
with them, you would trust their judgment and bring them in."
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm not completely anti that, because as a DSL graduate, I've been brought into things because people know the DSL name
yeah,
and have worked with me. However, we need to do both.
yeah,
Yeah, sometimes you can recommend a friend because you've worked with them and you think they're good. I do that all the time. Number of friends that I tag on things on Twitter because I'm like, oh, they'd be brilliant for that. They'd be for everyone. I do it for everyone.
yeah,
There is an element of that whole bringing people in thing, but also sometimes you have to go out and look and really come out of yourself to go out and look. And unfortunately, I feel like some people are quite lazy.
yeah.
And with the amount of time off that we've had with Corona, people really shouldn't be lazy. Like, I just feel like you've built up enough energy to, like, go out and search for people.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they're there and you have no clue what you're missing out on. Like, no clue.
No, because, you know, someone that has that slightly different lived experience, you know, let's say a lighting designer, suddenly the way that Romeo and Juliet is lit is just that subtle little difference due to their lived experience, and you'll go, fucking hell, I've never seen Romeo and Juliet like that before. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
that could just be from a lighting designer. Like, simple little things like that.
And again, when I say it's doable, so I'm only partway through because other things have been hopping in. That means I have to pause it. Watching the Romeo and Juliet that was done at the Littleton, the lighting on that was insane. And the diversity of the cast of that was beautiful. And so, I repeat, you can't say it's not doable. It's there. Like, when we've given you so many examples of how it works and the fact that it does work.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think this is it. You know, we can sit here and throw you the stuff that we're gravitating towards, where we're seeing it, and you just got to hope that the right person. You just got to hope the right person is listening. You know, I always kind of think to my speech at the Show Must Go Online Awards, and I'm like, you know, it was I love giving it. I love giving it to the people watching, but I'm just hoping, even if just for Rob and Sarah, that there is someone else listening that goes, oh shit, yeah. Can you help? We want to move like that. Can you help us? You know.
I loved you when I said I was all in my feelings when you made that speech. And funnily enough, because I was one of the mentions on that category. But then when it was removed, I was like, oh yeah, we shouldn't acknowledge this. They just did it. Like, great that they did it, but I think the thing we should champion is they did it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that they were doing above and beyond. They just went, I'm giving you this role because I think you'd be good at it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
and we should, and no one needs to be given kudos for that. But I'm glad that we also acknowledge that they did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, most people wouldn't see me as Paulina. Rob went, yeah, I'm making you Paulina. Because he went, you're a good actor. You can do this well. That was it. Not because I'm black, not because, but because I killed it as Sextus Pompeius, to be fair. I smashed that role. Even I know I did. You know when you you do a speech or something and you know you've hit that and you've nailed it? That's how I felt at the end of that performance.
Fair.
After Sextus, I went, okay, so I'm good at this. Sometimes, this imposter syndrome thing where you're like, am I a good actor? Am I good at this? After that, I went, okay, so I'm actually a good actor. I've got this. I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, this could be a career. Not like I've not given up my whole career prior, but yeah, I could do this.
Well, this is it, isn't it? And I think people always forget. They think that we just go in and do it and it's easy. And it's like, no.
Do you know how much work that took?
It's a skill. A skill that has to be honed and worked on and
worked on and consistently. It's not like doing something else. We are constantly working on ourselves, elevating our craft, honing our craft. I don't think I'll ever be done learning in this industry. Ever.
Gosh, no, absolutely not. No,
Ever.
because this is it. Because as we move through life, we have to learn a new way. Because our characters change. What we play will change.
Our bodies change. Our faces change. How we relate to the body that
attitudes.
we're in.
Yeah.
Attitudes. The world changes. So where we find ourselves completely changes. So you're constantly having to work on yourself and to work on your craft and to learn new things. Like, I'm so excited for when the world opens up to learn some more things. I would love to learn like archery and more combat things. These are things that I realize I need to learn as part of my career.
Yeah.
And so as an actor, I'm really grateful that I'm in a job that allows me to do that, because I feel like there are other jobs where you're kind of just in it and you're not learning anything. But we're in a really privileged position that we consistently learn as part of our job. Like, that's kind of our job, is to learn about people, learn about ourselves, learn about the worlds that are the plays and the shows and the movies that we're doing are in. So I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, no one can say that it's not doable. There have been too many instances, especially over the last couple of years, where with things that have been happening, you can't say you don't know. Yeah. At that point, you're choosing ignorance. It's not like you're choosing it. It's a choice at that point.
Yeah.
And if you're choosing it, stand in that choice. But when we come for you, you can't come. You can't say nothing.
Nice. So, okay, let's move on then to what you watch now. What adult Honey, what does she gravitate towards?
Well, adult Honey is still occasionally a child, so
Power Rangers is on Netflix.
May or may not be watching The Emperor's New Groove or stuff like that, but because it's an epic movie.
It's one of the best.
Absolutely love that movie. So I'm still watching like cartoons and stuff on Netflix, and because why not? Because I love them. And Disney Plus, rewatched A Bug's Life a couple of weeks ago. Oh god, it just had me. It's just like defeat them. So I'm still watching some of my childhood things because I'm a bit of a child. But stuff that I'm watching at the moment, currently in the middle of Snowpiercer. Okay. Which is stunning. It's hardcore, but it's stunning, beautiful. Nice. What else am I watching? Good Girls on Netflix, which is incredible. I watched The Bold Type. I really quite like The Bold Type. It's quite diverse. It's really nice. It's kind of very heartwarming. It's nothing too majorly serious. It's quite a light program. And I really enjoy that about The Bold Type, which is great. Watching stuff across like Amazon Prime. So some of the movies, I can't remember this one movie that we watched, and it had Rosamund Pike in it, and I was just like, this is so...
I Care a Lot?
Oh yeah, that was a bad movie.
I've not watched it.
We just... Oh, no, don't. Not because I don't like Rosamund Pike. I like her as an actor. That movie was just like... It started off really well, and then I went, what is going on? And then the ending, I was just like, well, that was a waste. Yeah, no, I didn't like that one. But I tried it. So I'm part of Clubhouse. I'm part of this club, and we do a lot of watch parties. So we're watching all kinds of things. The One was really good, and that was beautiful casting in that as well. The One was a really good show. Yeah, I find the shows that I'm drawn to now, Insecure, those kind of things, have to be diverse. Okay. It's rare that I don't watch things that don't have people who look like me in them. It's really rare. Unless I'm watching something old, as I said, like The Princess Diaries or something like that. Yeah. If it's a current thing, I need to see myself on that. Bridgerton, I saw myself in that. Although we're still waiting for a black girl to be a love interest. I too would like love, you know.
What?
I know, I'm asking for a lot, but I feel like I'm entitled to it. Like, I want to be taller. Like, let's go to full hog.
You wish you were a baller?
Yes. And a shot caller. Like, let's add that to the list, please.
Okay. Nice.
So, yeah, no, we're still yet to really see that. But I know we've had the photograph with Issa Rae in that, which was a beautiful movie. Oh, stunning. But yeah, I'd like to see black women as love interests. we haven't quite hit that one yet.
Honey, where can our lovely audience connect with you? Are you happy for people to connect and talk more
Oh,
and so on
yeah,
and so
my
forth?
DMs are wide open for sensible things, please.
Sensible
let's
things.
all behave
Yeah.
like we have sense. I am at the Honey Gabriel on Instagram and Twitter. My
Great.
Instagram really isn't like a work one. It's more like my family and my friends and whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
But my Twitter is a bit of both. Sometimes a bit of nonsense. But sometimes they're just some funny things that you need to retweet, and sometimes you have to remember that you're also in the public eye and a working actor, and you have to be sensible. So yeah, at the Honey Gabriel on both of those social medias. At Honey Gabriel on Clubhouse, if you guys are on Clubhouse, I'm hoping to kind of refocus like during the height of this lockdown 2. Was that lockdown 2 or lockdown 3?
No, I think that was 3, wasn't it? Yeah,
No,
because 2 was that
lockdown
November
3.
month. Yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah.
give me a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. During lockdown 3, when I had a bit more time to myself, I was doing a lot more stuff on Clubhouse, play readings. I was running Shakespeare Sundays for a bit. We had great sessions where we would like share Shakespeare monologues, our favourite plays, that kind of thing. I'm hoping to refocus a bit so I can do some more stuff on that. In terms of play readings, I have a club called Global Majority Creatives in Theatre, Film and TV. That's what I call us. I've loved having the term global majority being used around in the industry. It makes my heart like just so happy that people are using it, because it's what we are. I know some people won't always agree with it, and I know some people feel like that's othering people, but in my head we've always been seen as a minority, and I don't like that, because we're not.
Yeah.
We are technically the global majority. That's why I like using that term. So I have a club on there where we've done panel discussions with all kinds of people, play readings, Shakespeare Sundays. So hopefully I'll be able to refocus and do some more stuff on there with a bit more free time. And also I'm hoping to create a resource for global majority actors. I've heard too many stories when it came to like Showcase where they couldn't find monologues or scenes that were written for people like them or by them. And so I'm hoping to create a resource where people can go and find stuff and find monologues and find scenes and find plays and be able to find characters within that. So that is also in the works. I think I'm doing too much, but that's the kind of person I am. I do too much in general. I hate being bored. I can't stand it.
No,
Don't leave me bored. I
feel you.
I climb walls. It's not good. It's not good at all.
To be honest, if I did not have a PS4 or a Switch, I'd be exactly the same.
Oh my god! I have my Switch. I have all the things. Yeah. We don't do boredom well, do we? I feel you.
No.
I feel you.
Yeah, no.
I'm doing a lot. I'm trying to make the industry and the world a better place for everyone, but for people who look like me.
Nice.
So
Very good. Very
Thank
good.
you for having me.
Oh no, thank you for coming on. Like,
This has been so much fun.
you know, when I put the call out to the actors on Show Must Go Online, it was great, the response I got, and you know, and it can sometimes it can sometimes be tough to find people that want to, you know, that talk this kind of stuff. But then also when you actually just put the call out, everyone's there and they want to talk about it, and I want people to come on that want to talk about it, like, and to offer new voices into this conversation.
Headphones coming out.
Otherwise, it just gets a bit stale just hearing my voice all the time, and you know, I want to.
Your voice is lovely. I don't know what you're talking about.
It does a thing. I grew it myself.
It talks.
Brilliant. Okay,
Thank
awesome.
you so much for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. It's been very lovely indeed, honey. And thank you guys for watching at home. I hope you have enjoyed this conversation. Please do let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Keep it clean. We're all here to learn and grow with each other, and that's what I want to do with you. So please keep it clean down in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed this video and you want more people to hear the conversation, please make sure you do share it as well. You've got the share button there. You've got the like button. You've got the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those bell notifications. And honey, I'm sure you'll be coming back on very soon, no doubt.
Oh, Definitely.
Hells yeah.
Hells
Brilliant.
yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody. Hakuna MaChatter.